Andrew, you brought this up earlier today. Like, you said a great team and an average team. The difference is how they use the smoke and how they make the moves, right? When you know the move is about to be bad, you need to back, right? And I feel like BB team in a lot of instances, because they are so aggressive, they are very, bloodthirsty. They see a hero out of position, and because they always win the lanes, right? You're like, you see that guy, we just won the lanes. How can he be playing there? How can he be defending
That's
this area?
illegal gaming. We have to punish
Yeah, we have
that.
to punish him. But in actual fact, you're not that strong because of the draft. They have better team fight, blah, 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 whatever the reason is, and you have to actually hold your horses, but they can't. I think this is probably one of the reasons why they're so close to greatness, but they just can't get there.
When I said that, I was actually quoting Owie. That was who I had heard that from first, when he played on the illustrious Arkosh Gaming, of course. And it was actually Talon that was the team that smoked and didn't take the smoke. Because I think Save was positioning like a little too far into the tower, where he was clearly baiting. Or at least clearly by our perspective, from obviously we see where the rest of his team is.
Right.
But they had the read on Talon that like that was a bait, and I said I was like, well, that's a great read. Like it's so boring to watch a smoke not connect because nothing happens, right? But what you're witnessing is a good team making a good decision because you feel like we wasted this thing, we've ran our entire team to this area of the map, like we have to get a kill. It feels like there's an expectation. But you know what Mind Control said? Speaking of the greats of Dota 2, expectations are toxic. You got to look at things objectively, and Talon actually was able to do that in that game.
I was trying to like rummage my brain for some joke about you and expectations and maybe like disappointment, but it just didn't come to fruition.
When everything is, when you expect disappointment, of course, this does not apply.
Just like you on this panel.
Right.
Great. Game number 3, though, you won't be disappointed. It will come up on your screens very soon, I promise you that. What is the timing for a good smoke or when to back off on a smoke, Jenkins? You're talking about it. When is the line of like, okay, it's just not going to work, let's just go back to farming? Is it a time thing, a feel thing?
It's a feel thing. I think when they have clearly just read that you're doing the smoke, you know, like, and there's little tells where a hero is, like, let's say an Undying that you know has the respawn innate, is like positioning right below a high ground, and you're like, something seems off here. Like this seems like a trap.
Yep.
Then you just kind of get the read that they had the read for that. But the thing is, the reason why if you smoke out and you just like don't do anything with it is a good play is that if they have read that you've smoked and they're all positioning standing on top of a high ground, what are they doing? They're doing nothing, right? So a lot of the time you can just farm the area of the map that you've smoked to and then farm backwards towards where you were.
Oh, okay.
And you just clear the whole map and they've done nothing in that timing. So even though it's a boring thing, it does actually net you some sort of advantage that's not the kill. Either way, you're getting gold, but the bad teams or the teams that are feeling the pressure are the ones that feel like, oh, we smoked, we have to get a kill. But it's like, okay, well, you can smoke to a tower. You can just take a tower. You can smoke to kill a bunch of camps that otherwise were contested, but because you smoked, they're afraid and they're no longer contesting those camps. All of these things are fine, and the really good players are able to identify when they're in this situation.
Success comes in various forms when you do smoke up like that. We'll see if Talon's able to continue that, emulate that for themselves in a game at number 3, but we will be getting our draft underway very soon. In fact, I can already see it. Hopefully you guys will see it soon too. The Sand King is going to be a big question. It was taken out in the first phase, picked up in the first phase of game 1 and then banned out in the first phase in game number 2. I do wonder about this Monkey King, the Lunar, and the Morphling of the 3. I think that I want to know where are people going to be placing it now that we have a new small meta forming in this best of 3.
I mean, that's a good question. Like, I don't feel like DK and Sand King are super scary heroes right now, and their win rates also back that. However, they feel like in this particular matchup they are, so we are going to see some more of those heroes like the Monkey King within the draft. It's looked good so far for Talon. Do you still just want to first pick it? I also feel like BB team did not pick heroes that were particularly good versus the Monkey either. This NP mid, I mean, what if GPK was the Monkey instead of the NP, right? Like, would this game have been different? Probably, right? So I do want to see some adjustments there.
I'm a little bit surprised that they let the Shadowed Demon through on the side of Talon, because that was a big key success for the BB team in a game 1 win. It wasn't picked up in the first phase for game 2, I understand that, but I figured they would probably look towards going for it in game 3, having first pick.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely good versus the Monkey King as well if you do still want to think about it as Talon. I think you look at that last draft. I mean, honestly, if I was the coach of BB team, I would just be like, you know what? This was our game to lose. We had everything we needed to win this game. We won all 3 lanes. Our draft was solid enough. Everything was going well. We just need to just clean up our gameplay, on especially our decision making. Because both games, there was a point where BB team tried to push an advantage and got punished really hard.
Talon's got to have an answer to this, right? Because I feel like the SD looked really amazing in game 1. Talon just couldn't save anyone. And I guess that's why they picked the Mars. You throw the arena down, you can no longer get vision into the arena with that facet. So it does. I mean, SD used to counter Mars, but now it kind of works the other way around. So
you still ward in the arena?
Yes, you can. Yeah, you need
the high skill player.
You need to legitimately, your team needs to be like, you go clockwise or something. You go like, I'm at like 6 o'clock. I'm at 6 o'clock, and then you drop a sentry ward at where that is, and you can see the guy. Like that, unironically, is like what you kind of should do. Some way of communicating where you are in the arena. Or you could ping. That also works.
I feel like it's not as accurate, you know? There's like a little bit of...
Do you think these
6.5 o'clock.
Do you think these guys know how to read time?
An analog clock? I really hope so.
Dota gamers? I don't know.
Yes.
You don't use clocks anymore.
Talon,
look at your phone.
BB team's pretty young.
I'm trying to think of who the most Zoomer person is.
I actually can't really believe that he's actually
asking
serious with this.
Yeah. I'm going to find the most Zoomer player we have. I'm going to ask him to read an analog clock.
Like, I'm at 3 o'clock, and they'll be like, where's that? You know, in the split.
No.
Come on, you can't be serious. They don't know, right?
No.
All right, we'll have to do an interview later.
We will.
Nomad, please ask them.
You have to ask the most Zoomer person that you can find if they can read an analog.
Please don't do that on the exit interview, for God's sakes.
That's period.
Talon's turn to pick.
Oh, look, our draft. Second phase of bans here. Phoenix, Mirana. I do like BB Team taking out the Mirana because that was scalability.
And Luna's still in the pool. In the first game, the draft was what? Shadow Demon, and then Luna.
Yep.
And Lion, was it?
Beast. And then
Beast,
Lion.
yeah.
And you're not as afraid of the SD as you used to be on the Luna, because I think, Fear, you mentioned it, that